So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for your patience, and welcome to the City Plan Commission meeting. My name is Kevin Smith with the Planning Inspections Department. Due to the pandemic, we continue with the teleconference setting for the City Plan Commission. For everyone who's in attendance, please mute your microphones if you're not speaking, or your phones. It just helps with background noise interference. You'll be given an opportunity to speak, and for those on the phone, you'll press *6 to unmute your phone. And we are recording this meeting. And with that, I will turn it over to Elsa Ramirez for roll call of the City Plan Commission.
Good afternoon, City Plan Commissioners. This is Elsa Ramirez, Planning and Inspections. I will be calling roll in order to establish a quorum for this meeting. And one other thing, all commissioners, can you please turn on your cameras? They do need to see that you are present at this meeting. Thank you. Commissioner Rick Cabrera.
Present.
Commissioner Chris Cummings.
Here.
Commissioner Jeffrey Wright. Commissioner Samuel Trimble.
Present.
Commissioner Patrick Hernandez. Commissioner Juan Uribe.
Aye.
Commissioner Jose Guzman.
Present.
Commissioner Robert Bobby Garcia.
Present.
And Commissioner Margaret Livingston.
Present.
Thank you. We have quorum for this meeting.
Good afternoon and welcome to the November 19th meeting of the City Plan Commission. My name is Margaret Livingston, Chair of the Commission, and I will call this meeting to order at 1:43. We will now hear a brief statement read from the public.
Unmute. The City Plan Commission has sole and final approval authority over subdivision maps. Although the Commission is sole and final authority with respect to subdivision approval, this authority is statutorily limited to a ministerial examination of the application's conformance to all applicable code provisions. The staff report for an agenda item may include conditions, exceptions, or modifications. If the Commission does not wish to approve an exception or modification or require a condition, then the Commission's motion will state which have not been approved. Otherwise, the staff report with all modifications, exceptions, and conditions is approved, and the applicant shall comply with all provisions of the staff report. All agenda items other than subdivision items will be conducted in the form of a public hearing. The chairperson of the Commission may allocate and limit the time of person speaking before the Commission. The normal process is as follows. First, the Commission will hear a staff report followed by a statement from the applicant. Then members of the public may speak, followed by any final statement from the applicant. Finally, the matter will be closed to the discussion amongst the Commission. The Commission shall then make a recommendation that will be forwarded to City Council.
Thank you. Any changes to the agenda?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon. Raul Garcia, Planning Inspections. There are a couple changes. Item number 2, that'll be postponed for 2 weeks. Again, item number 2, postponed for 2 weeks.
Okay.
And then items 8 and 10 will be heard together. They are for the same property. Items 8 and 10 to be heard together. And then there are several revised staff reports. And that is all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. May I get a motion to accept the changes to the agenda?
So moved, Trimble.
Second, Garcia.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. We will We do not have anything on the consent agenda, so we'll go ahead and start with the regular agenda. Item number 1 is SU 20-00073.
Good afternoon. If you'll allow me one moment to pull up the presentation. Can everybody see the presentation?
Yes, we can see it, George.
Okay. Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. George Olmos with Planning and Inspections. This item is Cedar Grove Elementary Subdivision. This is a major combination application. This development is located within the city of El Paso, north of the Border Highway and west of Carolina Drive. Primary access to the subdivision is proposed from Barker Road. This application is being reviewed under the current subdivision code. This slide shows the proposed final plat on the aerial picture. The applicant is proposing to subdivide approximately 14.1565 acres to create a subdivision comprising of one school site. All existing improvements within the proposed subdivision are proposed to be demolished and the new elementary school reconstructed. This slide shows the preliminary plat. This slide shows the final plat. Shown here are the required and existing cross sections. The applicant is requesting the following exception for Barker Road: to waive 0.97 feet of landscape improvements from Barker Road. Barker Road is a local street which requires the right-of-way to be a total of 52 feet, consisting of a 32-foot roadway and two 10-foot parkways comprised of a 5-foot landscape buffer and a 5-foot sidewalk. The right-of-way proportionate share is 26 feet, which the applicant will provide. The applicant is dedicating an additional 11 feet of right-of-way to meet their proportionate share. Under Section 19.10.05A, the City Plan Commission may waive such requirements to provide rights-of-way or street improvements to adjacent substandard roads. The applicant is applying for the waiver under Section 1A, which states that 50% of the lots within a quarter mile of the proposed development have already been developed and that the existing street improvements are in character with the neighborhood. The applicant does satisfy the criteria under Section 19.10.05A, 050A. Staff recommends approval of Cedar Grove Elementary Subdivision on a major combination basis and approval of the exception request. This concludes my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? Maybe we hear from the applicant. Georges?
Good afternoon, George Halul with SLI Engineering. Hope you and your families are all well and safe, and please stay safe. And I agree with all staff comment.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Okay, we'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve.
Second, Trimble.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
3. Thank you, Georges. Item number 3, SU 20-00055.
Give me 1 second. Let me know when you can see the PowerPoint.
It's shown up, Adriana.
Perfect. So item 3 on Adriana Martinez with Planning and Inspections. Item 3 on the agenda is North Loop Apartments, Unit 2, a major combination application. The property is located south of North Loop and west of Americas Drive in District 6. Here is your preliminary plat, and here is your final plat. The applicant proposes to subdivide 3.21 acres of land into one lot, which is proposed to be developed into 68 multifamily dwelling units. Access to the subdivision is proposed from North Loop Drive. Excuse me. The applicant is requesting 2 exceptions pursuant to the El Paso City Code, Section 1923-040C, lots determination and regulation of size, and Section 1921-020C5, location and width of sidewalks of the current subdivision code. The exceptions include the following: to allow for a panhandle lot of 273.52 feet in length, and to allow the existing sidewalk parkway configuration along North Loop Drive. As per Section 1923-040 lots, determination and regulation of size, flag or panhandle lots, the applicant is proposing a panhandle lot of 273.52 feet in length. This tract has existed since 1928 and is shown on a county survey from that year. And concerning the emergency services per note 10 on the final plat, any building on the subject property would be required to be sprinkled and have hardwired system. Here are the current conditions for North Loop Drive between Zaragoza and Americas Drive. As per Section 1921-050, waivers and deviations, all properties along North Loop Drive between these 2 major intersections have the current sidewalk parkway configuration. The applicant proposes to preserve the existing conditions of North Loop Drive, which is a Texas right-of-way. And with that said, staff recommends approval of North Loop Apartments Unit 2 on a major combination basis and approval of the exception request. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon. This is Sergio Castillo with SER Group. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Great. And we are in agreement with staff recommendations.
Great. Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Okay, we'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Motion to approve Cabrera.
Second.
Uribe.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. We will go on to item number 4. SU 20-00069.
Hey, Diego, how you doing?
Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. Tully Martin with Planning and Inspections. Please let me know if you see the screen.
Yeah, we can see it, Julie.
Item 4, thank you. Item 4.
Just a second. If anyone who's not speaking, please mute your microphone. Please, thank you. Go ahead, Julie.
Item 4 on the agenda is Green Acres Subdivision Replat A re-subdivision preliminary application. And this application has a revised staff report. The property is located west of Donovan Drive and south of Artcraft Road, in District 1. And this application is reviewed under the current subdivision code. The applicant is proposing to re-subdivide 27.4 acres of vacant land into 65 single-family residential lots and 1 apartment site containing 124 apartment units. The single-family lots range from approximately 5,200 to 11,000 square feet in size. The proposed apartment site is 8.11 acres in size. Additionally, a 1.82 acre park pond and 2 stormwater ponds 1.42 acres in total size, are proposed. The park pond is to retain stormwater from the abutting streets only, and the stormwater ponds will serve the entire subdivision. Sorrel Drive and Oleaster Drive will both be extended into the site and transitioned from 60 feet right-of-way width to 52 feet right-of-way width in accordance with the city street standards. New streets, Patricia Elena Place, Merce Court, and Will Jordan Place will be improved and dedicated. The subdivision will be accessed from Sorrel Drive and Oleaster Drive from the south and from Artcraft Road from the north. Here's the proposed preliminary plat. And with that, staff recommend approval with condition of Green Acres Subdivision Replat A on a re-subdivision preliminary basis, subject to the following condition: that the City Plan Commission require the traffic impact analysis be approved prior to recording of the plat, pursuant to El Paso City Code, Section 19.18.040A2, City Evaluation and Action. More detailed description of the requirements are given in subsections A, C, and D on this slide and in the staff report. And thank you. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Hello, this is Mark Medina with Moreno Cardenas. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Thank you all for presenting our development, and we agree with all of staff comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant?
I have a question, Cummings. The park, the ponds, could those not have been made as one sort of comprehensive park pond? Do they have to be sort of in silos?
Yeah, so that's a comment that we also received from Parks Department, and so we'll look at that and see if we can configure it that way.
And I also read the staff report about TxDOT and getting access from Artcraft. Is that still a matter that's not settled?
You kind of broke up there at the end, but yes, we've been coordinating with TxDOT, and the approvals to access the Artcraft are underway.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
I'm sorry, Chris had a lot of feedback. What was the answer with regards to TxDOT and having access off of the Artcraft? I guess it would be. Well, go ahead.
Yeah. So we're coordinating with TxDOT already on that, and we're obviously going to be submitting our construction documents when those are ready for the permits that are required. But we've had no initial pushback or anything, and the prior subdivision that was platted here had already received approval for a similar location driveway access to Artcraft, so we don't foresee any issues.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right. Any other questions for the applicant?
And just by way of reminder to the commission, this is only a preliminary plat, so they will have to come in again to the final at a later stage. So that'll be before you at a future date.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve, Guzman.
May I get a second?
Cabrera, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes. We will move on to item number 5, which is under the public hearing re-subdivision section, SU 20-00072.
Good afternoon. So PowerPoint should be loading, so let me know when you can see it.
We can see it, Jessica.
Perfect, thank you. Good afternoon, Chair and members of the Commission. This is Jessica Scholl with Planning and Inspections. Item number 5 on the agenda is Dalton Terrace Elementary School. This is a re-subdivision combination application. This development is located within the city of El Paso, east of Macomb Street and south of Woodrow B. Trans Mountain. Primary access to the subdivision will be from Pickerel Drive, in addition to access from Manila Drive and Gobi Street. This subdivision is being reviewed under the current subdivision code. This slide shows the proposed final plat on the aerial picture. The applicant proposes to subdivide approximately 8.7758 acres into one lot. The proposed lot is the current location of Dalton Terrace Elementary School, which will be demolished and subsequently reconstructed. This slide shows the preliminary plat. And here is the final plat. Shown here are the required and existing cross sections. The applicant is requesting the following exception for Pickerel Drive to waive 5 feet of landscape parkway. Pickerel Drive is a local street which requires the right-of-way be a total of 52 feet, consisting of 32 feet roadway and 2 10-foot parkways consisting of a 5-foot landscape buffer and a 5-foot sidewalk. Under Section 19.10.05A, the City Plan Commission may waive such requirements to provide right-of-way or street improvements to adjacent substandard roads. The applicant is applying for the waiver under Section 1A, which states that 50% of the lots within a quarter mile of the proposed development have already been developed and that the existing street improvements are in character with the neighborhood. The applicant does satisfy the criteria under Section 19.10.05A. Here are the existing conditions for Pickerel Drive. The center picture shows the front of the subdivision from across Pickerel Drive. The picture on the right shows Pickerel Drive looking north, and the picture on the left is looking south from the corner of Manila Drive and Pickerel Drive. Notices were mailed to property owners within 300 feet on November 3rd, 2020. The Planning Division has received 2 calls and 1 email of inquiry with no communication in support nor opposition to the request. With that, staff recommends approval of Dalton Terrace Elementary School on a re-subdivision combination basis and approval of the exception request. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, George Halul with SLI, and we agree with all staff comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? This item is under the public hearing section. I was not informed that anyone signed up to speak on it, but if there is someone on the line that cares to, now would be your opportunity.
If anyone would like to speak on this item, please press *6 to unmute your phone.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve, Garcia.
Second, Trimble.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Item number, thank you, George. Item number, don't go too far, you're next. Item number 6, SU 20-00071.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. John Scott, please let me know when you can see the presentation.
Got it.
Excellent. So, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the Commission. John Scott, Planning and Inspections. Thank you guys for being here. Item number 6 on the agenda is the Scottsdale Elementary Subdivision, a re-subdivision combination application. The development is south of the Album Avenue and west of McRae Boulevard. Access to the proposed subdivision is through McRae Boulevard, Danoon Drive, Prestwick Road, and Cosmos Avenue. This subdivision is being reviewed under the current subdivision code. Here's a picture of the proposed subdivision superimposed on the aerial map. The applicant proposes to subdivide 12.346 acres of platted land, currently 2 lots, into 1 lot for an elementary school. The current elementary school is proposed to be demolished and rebuilt. Here we have the preliminary plat. And here we have the final plat. Notices were mailed to property owners within 300 feet on November 3rd, 2020. And as of today, November 19th, the planning division, has received 3 inquiries regarding the request. And with that, planning staff recommends approval of the Scottsdale Elementary subdivision on a re-subdivision combination basis. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
Good afternoon, George Halul. We agree with all staff comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? This item is also under the public hearing section. I was not notified that anyone signed up to speak on it, but if you would like to, now is your opportunity.
Again, if you'd like to speak on this item, please press *6 to mute your phones.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
Move to approve, Guzman. Second, Garcia.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Please stay safe.
Thank you, Georges. You do the same. Item number 7, PZRZ 20-00019.
Okay, good morning, good afternoon to members of the commission. Adriana Martinez, Planning and Inspection. Item 7 on the agenda is a rezoning request application. The property is located at south of Americas and west of Socorro Road. Here is the existing zoning map, and here's a future land use map. The applicant proposes to rezone approximately 10.36 acres of land from RF, Ranch Farm, and Ranch Farm Historic to R5 Residential and R5H Historic. The property is located at south of Americas Avenue and west of Socorro within the Mission Valley planning area. The conceptual site plan shows 61 residential lots and 1 drainage pond. Residential lots will range between 5,000 square feet and 7,542 square feet. The configuration of the lots will be addressed at the subdivision stage. Primary access to the proposed development is from Socorro Road. This is the subject property, and these are the surrounding areas. To the north is A2, which is vacant, followed by single family and commercial. To the south is Ranch Farm and R3 Residential, which is vacant, followed by single family. To the east, Ranch Farm, single family, and to the west, it's Ranch Farm and it's vacant. As of today, November 19, 2020, planning has received 2 emails in opposition, 1 email in inquiry to the rezoning request. Notices to all property owners were mailed out November 5th of 2020. With that said, staff recommends approval of the rezoning request. Further, the proposed development meets the intent of the D3 post-war land use designation of Plan El Paso, the city's comprehensive plan. And this concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff?
Guzman, I have a question. Is a park not required for this?
We can defer that to the applicant.
Okay. Can we hear from the applicant?
Actually, if I might, this is Kevin Smith with Planning and Inspections. That would come at the subdivision phase, and I believe, Nelson, are you still on?
Yes, good afternoon.
But I also believe that it would fall under the requirement for parkland requirements. Nelson, can you speak a little bit more to that?
Sure. Adriana, do you mind going back to the site plan?
Sure.
So usually at the time of plating, absolutely correct. At the time of plating, we'll be looking at whether or not this particular development will require parkland dedication. Typically, any development where they're proposing 100 lots or more will require parkland dedication of 1 acre. If they're proposing anything less than 100 single-family lots, then they would have to pay park fees in lieu of the parkland dedication. In this case, Adriana, how many lots are they proposing at the moment? 61, which is less than the parkland dedication requirement. So again, park fees in this case would be required instead. Does that answer your question, Commissioner?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant, please? Do we have anyone from B&B Socorro LLC
This
or
is Jorge
Site Work
Garcia
Engineering?
with Site Work Engineering. Yes.
Hi there.
This is Jorge Garcia with Site Work Engineering. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Yes, we're in agreement with all the staff comments.
Thank you. Any questions for the applicant? Okay, this item is also under the public hearing section. I was not made aware of anyone wanting to speak on it, but if there is someone on the line, now is your opportunity.
And if you'd like to speak on this item, please press *6 to unmute your phone.
Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. May you state your name?
Yes. Good afternoon, CPC, Madam Chair, and Commissioner members and city staff. I'm glad to see you all are safe and healthy. My name is Fabiola Campos Lopez, and I'm serving currently as the president of Corridor 20 Civic Association in the Mission Valley area. The purpose of my call is to ask you to recommend denial for this proposed rezoning case, PCRZ 200019. As we all have seen and reviewed the staff report, application, and proposed plan, what is being proposed is wrong, considering that there are other less dense rezoning options for the health and quality of life for the established property owners and the newcomers. We all are aware that as it is, Socorro Road is already a condensed, narrow road with heavy traffic, that the city and county are working along with the state to find other options to redirect the heavy traffic from Socorro Road. A regular commuter will take him 20 plus minutes just to wait for the green light in the intersection on Loop 375 at any given hour of the day. The proposed plan includes 61 houses in 10 acres, if respected, because no detailed site plan is in requirement at this time. With only one entrance and exit for all 150 plus vehicles, consider a multiplied average of 2.3 cars per the number of households. How long do you guess will it take them to get out of their neighborhood to start making a line just to get in the heavy traffic on Socorro Road? God forbidding, if a fire emergency happens inside the neighborhood and residents will need to evacuate the area with only one entrance and exit for all its residents, and the heavy traffic at Socorro Road will be the only escape route available. Corridor 20 Civic Association believes and supports responsible growth, and this proposed plan complicates the livability of the area and their future residents. No park or green areas being proposed for this plan. What parent will dare to let their children walk 1 mile on a narrow, heavy traffic Socorro Road without sidewalks to get to the nearby park? Corridor 20 Civic Association is aware that the property taxes are the base for the city's general fund. used to provide the community with better city infrastructure and public services, and also the housing is always on demand. But we also know that the city's vision is having beautiful neighborhoods for the safety and better quality of life of its residents. I will not delve into the historical aspects. We need to embrace our history and not disregard it. And there is no doubt that the historical value of the area will not be adequately preserved with this high-density rezoning proposal. For all these facts that I have just mentioned, and especially for the community trust which has invested in you, Corridor 20 Civic Association is asking you to safeguard the quality of life of established owners in the area and the newcomers. Thank you for allowing me to express Corridor 20 Civic Association's denial recommendation request and concern. Thank you and be safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any questions? Anybody?
Right. Madam Chair, if I might, if there are any more members of the public as well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please state your name.
My name is Sylvia Carrion. I am president of the Mission Valley Civic Association. And all I'm going to do is ditto everything Ophelia has said from the Corridor 20. We had discussed about this issue, about the traffic. I had taken pictures of the area, and we are very concerned about the going in and out of this particular area in Socorro Road, very narrow road. And I think this amount of homes would add more traffic. I had talked to somebody about traffic lights, but it's a traffic. They said that they can't do a traffic study unless it's demanded. So yes, I concur with Ms. Aviola from Corridor 20. Please look into this situation before you grant this these many houses. Or right now they're requesting to R5, which is even smaller lots, which means more homes. But please reconsider about allowing this to happen. It really becomes a traffic issue down there in Socorro Road. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public? Okay. At this time, I want to go ahead and remind everyone that the CPC is only a recommending body. We are not the final authority. That is City Council. So we will go ahead and close for further discussion or motion.
I have a question. Sorry if my feedback is too much. Can we look at the plat again? Is there a deceleration lane or not?
Your feedback's better, Chris.
Adriana, can you go to the conceptual, please? Adriana, if you can go back to the conceptual site plan, please. So if I might to the commission too, just to remind everyone, this is a rezoning request. That detail would be considered at the subdivision phase, as well as I believe Socorro Road is a TxDOT right-of-way, and so they would have to coordinate it as well with the state regarding the access and any improvements to Socorro Road as well.
Thank you.
Okay. Can we get a motion? Oh, we're waiting to look. Chris, did you get your question answered?
Yes, thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, we are closing for further discussion or motion, please.
Motion to approve, Guzman.
Second, anybody? Okay. Does that mean everybody is a nay?
Madam Chair, I believe we need another motion if the initial motion does not pass or carry.
Okay.
So we would need.
So at this point, we can go ahead and say it didn't carry.
Well, I think we need another motion.
Somebody make a motion, please. Say that again, please.
This is Commissioner Garcia, make a motion to deny the request.
Thank you. Couldn't hear you the first time. Is there a second for the
Second coming.
request?
Second Cummings.
Anyone else in favor of denial?
Yeah.
Margaret, do you want me to go ahead and take a
Please,
vote?
Elsa. Yes, please.
Okay, hold on one second. Let me just get my.
Thank you.
So again, to the commission, there was a motion and a second to deny the request. That is what is considered at this time.
Okay, commissioners, I'm going to call your name and let me know how you vote on this item number 7. The last motion was deny the request. Let me know how you vote on it. Commissioner Cabrera?
I'm in favor of the motion to not approve.
Right. Yes, this is the motion to deny request. So yours is an aye, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Commissioner Chris Cummings?
Aye.
Commissioner Samuel Trimble?
Aye.
Commissioner Juan Uribe?
Aye.
Commissioner Jose Guzman?
No.
Commissioner Robert Bobby Garcia?
Aye.
And Commissioner Margaret Livingston?
In favor of denial.
Okay, so I have a unanimous vote to deny the request.
Thank you.
And Madam Chair, if I might, before the next item, please, for members of the public or whoever's on the line, please mute your phones.
Yes.
We're getting quite a bit of background noise interference. So please mute your phone and you'll have the opportunity to speak at the appropriate time. Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to hear now item number 8 and 10 together. We will start with item number 8, PZRZ 20-00017.
Adriana Martinez for the record. Item 8 and 10 on the agenda is a rezoning request and a condition release. The property is located at 1351 and 1355 Saragossa Road. Here is an aerial of the rezoning portion. Here is an aerial of the condition release. And here you can see them side to side. The condition release applies to the entire parcel, and the rezoning is only for 0.29, the shaded area of that parcel. Here's your future land use, the existing zoning, and here's your future land use map. The applicant proposes to rezone a portion of land, approximately 0.2957 acres, from C1 with a condition and a special contract to C4 with a condition and a special contract. The applicant has submitted a condition release application requesting to release the conditions imposed on the subject property by ordinance number 7313 and ordinance number 17870. The rezoning request is to allow for the entire split zoned property of 10.43 acres of land to be zoned C4 commercial. The conceptual site plan accommodates a total of 15 commercial buildings to be used as office business. The subject property is currently required to comply with the special contract provisions imposed by such ordinances. Ordinance number 7313 was dated September 8, 1981, and ordinance number 17870 dated September 18, 2012. The applicant has submitted a condition release application requesting the release of those conditions imposed on the subject property, which states in part, ordinance number 7313, no building permit shall be issued for the construction of the property until a subdivision plat of the property has been submitted by the first party to the City Plan Commission of the City of El Paso and filed for record. The subject property has been platted as part of Las Terrazas subdivision, which was filed and recorded as of January 13, 2013. This condition has been met and is no longer needed. Ordinance number 17870, a detailed site development plan to be approved by City Code prior to the issuance of any building permits. The applicant is proposing to develop the subject property to be used for office business, which is a permitted use in both C1 and C4 districts. Considering that the subject property is surrounded by similar uses within the same zone district, this condition is no longer necessary to protect the health, safety, and welfare of its established neighborhood. Primary access to the development is proposed from Zaragoza Road. Here is the subject property, and here is the surrounding areas. To the north is C4, which is vacant, and then further north is commercial. To the south is R3 residential, vacant, and then restaurants. To the east is C4 with commercial retail. To the west, C1, which is hospital and medical offices. Notices were mailed to all property owners within 300 feet on November 5th, and Planning Division has not received any communication in support or opposition to the rezoning or to the condition release request. Staff recommends approval of the rezoning and condition release request. The proposed development is consistent with the other commercial districts in the immediate area and meets the established character of its surrounding neighborhood. Staff finds that the existing conditions are no longer necessary, and further, the proposed development meets the intent of the G4 suburban walkable land use designation of Plan El Paso, the city's comprehensive plan in the East Planning area. This concludes my presentation.
Thank you. Any questions for staff? May we hear from the applicant?
If the applicant is here, please press *6 to unmute your phone.
Anybody? Sunny Van Hasselen, are you on the line? Okay. We will go ahead and go on to hear item number 10, right, Kevin?
I believe they were both presented at the same time. Adriana, you presented both, right?
Yes, that is correct. It
Oh,
was the
okay.
rezoning and the
Okay.
condition release.
Okay, I missed that. I'm sorry. Then the other item that we just heard was PZCR 20-0000002. Both of these items are under the public hearing section. I was not made aware that anybody signed up to speak on them, but if there is somebody on the line now, would be your opportunity.
Again, if you'd like to speak on this item, please press *6 to unmute your phone.
Okay, we will go ahead and close for further discussion and a motion on both items number 8 and 10.
Move to approve items number 8 and 10.
Second, Trimble.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That was Cummings making the motion.
Okay, thank you. Items number 8 and 10 pass. Item number 9, PZST 20-00009.
Everybody can see the presentation?
Yes, we can, Andrew.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon, Commissioners. This is Andrew Salome with Planning and Inspections. Item number 9 on the agenda is a special permit application for the property located at 6700 Zambrano Avenue. The subject property is 0.41 acres in size, is currently zoned special development with conditioned special permit. The applicant is